So I've got to be honest, Twice Upon a Time left me feeling pretty disillusioned. I really wasn't satisfied with the way they handled the 12th Doctor's regeneration, and I'll never agree with the direction that Chris Chibnall went in. And while I've never agreed with the change in gender for the Doctor, which is a whole separate issue I could dive into, I'll save that for another video. Today I want to focus on something else. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Demon, and today, instead of just giving you my opinion on how they handled that final scene or how they wrapped up the 12th Doctor's story, I thought it might be more interesting to offer my own take on how the series should have ended. Imagine a version where the stakes are higher, the consequences are real, and the transition feels even more powerful. So, let's dive into my alternative ending for Twice Upon a Time, and trust me, things get intense. As the 12th Doctor steps into the TARDIS, his face weathered from countless battles and adventures, his body begins to shimmer with the raw, powerful energy of regeneration. The golden glow envelops him, radiating from his hands and face, casting long shadows across the TARDIS walls. He pauses for a brief, poignant moment, his eyes locked on the console in front of him. The swirling lights of the Time Vortex reflect in his gaze, a mesmerizing blend of blue, white and gold, capturing the infinite possibilities of time and space. A deep breath rattles through his lungs, heavy with the weight of centuries and with a sense of both finality and renewal. He surrenders to the change. His body jolts, spasming as his features begin to blur and morph, reshaping in a cascade of light, until, like a star going supernova, he transforms into the 13th Doctor. The golden light of the regeneration fades, leaving behind a new figure in the control room. The 13th Doctor stands, blinking in the afterglow of her transformation. Her hands, slim and unfamiliar, come into view first, and she turns them over slowly, marveling at their newness. A grin, wide and bright, stretches across her face as she catches her reflection in a nearby mirror. Her eyes gleam with excitement, her breath quick with wonder, as though the universe itself has gifted her this second chance. The energy in her veins is electric, and with a burst of uncontainable joy, she steps forward, her boots tapping rhythmically on the TARDIS floor. She places her hand confidently on the console, feeling the steady hum of the time machine beneath her fingers, ready for a brand new adventure. But something feels wrong. The TARDIS's hum, normally a soft and soothing sound, suddenly shifts into a deep, resonant drone that vibrates through the air like a warning bell. The console lights flicker erratically, casting jittery shadows across the control room. The Doctor's grin falters, her expression shifting to one of confusion and concern. The familiar comfort of the TARDIS feels distant, almost hostile. She steps back, eyes wide, scanning the room as if the ship itself is trying to tell her something. The droning grows louder, sharper, taking on a rhythmic, almost mechanical cadence. It pulses through the air like a distorted heartbeat, echoing off the metallic walls in a pattern that the Doctor can't ignore. Her brow furrows deeply as she realizes this is no malfunction. The TARDIS is trying to communicate. And the message is unmistakable, cold, angry, and undeniably sentient. Get out. The Doctor's breath catches in her throat, but before she can process the warning, the ground beneath her feet lurches violently. The entire room trembles as the walls seem to contract, vibrating with such intensity that the sound becomes a deafening roar. She staggers, reaching out to steady herself, but the TARDIS feels alien now, rejecting her as its pilot. The central column at the heart of the console throbs, pulsing with blinding, angry light. A sharp crack splits the air, and a searing blue light engulfs the control room. The Doctor is thrown backward, her body flung toward the TARDIS doors as if yanked by an unseen force. She barely has time to register the blinding flash before the doors burst open, and she is violently ejected into the chaotic, swirling storm of the Time Vortex. The wind tears at her clothes and hair as she tumbles through the infinite expanse, her body spinning uncontrollably. Time and space warp around her in dizzying spirals, the vast turbulent currents pulling her deeper into their endless maelstrom. Her arms flail helplessly as she struggles to gain control, her mind racing to comprehend what's happening. Then, through the shifting shadows of the vortex, she sees them. Dark, ethereal shapes with razor-sharp wings slicing through the swirling energies. Vortisaurs, predators of the time stream, ancient and relentless. Their eyes glint like shards of obsidian, cold and predatory as they zero in on her. The Doctor's heart pounds in her chest as panic seizes her. The Vortisaurs swarm closer, their leathery wings beating furiously, creating a gust of wind that whips around her. Their shrieks echo through the vortex like the cries of banshees. She twists and turns, desperate to escape, but the vortex offers no refuge. One of the creatures lunges, its claws slicing through her jacket, its touch icy and sharp. She screams, but the sound is swallowed by the howling winds of the vortex. Another Vortisaur dives, tearing into her, its jagged talons shredding her very essence. Pain, white-hot and excruciating, rips through her as more of the beasts close in, their feral snarls echoing in the void. Each attack dissolves a piece of her, unraveling her being. The Doctor's last thoughts are a frantic jumble of fear and disbelief as her screams are drowned out by the vortex's deafening roar. Her form is torn apart, scattered like dust into the infinite reaches of time and space. Back inside the TARDIS, the control room falls eerily silent. The lights stabilize, casting a cool ambient glow across the console. The droning fades into nothingness, leaving only the soft hum of the time machine, content and undisturbed. The TARDIS floats alone through the time vortex once more, its new pilot rejected, lost in the endless currents of eternity. I'm Snake Demon, and this has been The Snake Pit. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where I won't read them.